Senator Ludwig.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. I take note that the Senate take note of answers given by Senator Cormann to questions without notice asked by opposition senators today. Well, what has happened yesterday and what they have reaffirmed today is we've heard from ministers who've made it absolutely clear the Liberal Party never supported workers getting superannuation, and they still don't today. 20 years ago, the Liberal Prime Minister said compulsory superannuation is one of the biggest con jobs ever foisted by government on the Australian people, and the only con that's happening here today from the Prime Minister, the Treasurer and the Finance Minister is just that, the removal and the freeze of superannuation. The absurd claim that workers will get more money in their pay packets because of a delay in superannuation increases is ludicrous in the extreme. It shows yet again that the party of markets has absolutely no sense how markets operate. Do they really seriously think, Acting Deputy President, that an employer will pass on the equivalent superannuation increase in wages, or are they just that naive? Even Kate Carnell, head of the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, has come out and hosed down this outlandish spin and deception by the Prime Minister. She said a long freeze on super will not guarantee pay increases of equivalent value. Bell the cat. Bell the cat. They want people to work longer and harder and not to have access to their own pool of savings. The Liberal Party believes that capital is only for the bosses. They want it to remain a secret locked box and not for workers. It's why, well, they hate industry funds as well. They detest industry funds. They hate working people in control of serious investments and serious capital accumulation. We all remember it was employer groups that took to the High Court the industrial issue in the late 90s to try and prevent superannuation from being included in awards. It was the employers that did not want superannuation in awards to be paid to workers. They wanted to keep it to themselves in defined benefit schemes so they didn't have to pay workers when they retired. These are people who also line the Liberal Party pockets. The biggest employer groups and businesses never ever supported superannuation, and those opposite have got their script from them. They still don't support superannuation, and every opportunity and every chance they get, they demonstrate why they don't support a superannuation for workers. The Liberal Party are the economic vandals, the socially irresponsible, the party of idiotic cruelty, has always and always will dance to the tune of those who don't believe in workers controlling their own destiny through managed retirement funds. The Liberal Party wants superannuation gone, and there's no doubt about that. Given half a chance of another dodgy backroom deal, they'd repeal superannuation overnight. They'd ram it through the parliament, just like the ram raid on super funds yesterday. And of course, Labor will not stand for it. We will continue to campaign for workers' retirement savings, just as we always have, and we always will continue. And it doesn't take much for the Liberals to lash out at super. They've done it again yesterday in trying to say, and today, that super is an impost borne by employers. If you look at the record and the statistics, it is untrue. As former Prime Minister Paul Keating demonstrated, at the macro level from 1992 to 2002, compulsory super went up, labour unit costs went down, profit share of the economy went up and productivity went up as well. And as the national economic tide went up and productivity increased, it paid for generous wage settlements, including superannuation. Yesterday, as the government attacked workers' superannuation, it also attacked mums and dads. It also attacked small business, and it targeted attack at working women particularly, who are amongst the greatest beneficiaries of compulsory superannuation. A freeze on super takes away from mum and dads, but especially women. And as the government's own documents showed, they didn't leave it at that. They then traded the school kids' bonus, but it's gone as well. It's not hanging around. The deal that they did yesterday, the dodgy, dirty deal, took that as well.
Thank you, Senator Ludwig. Your time has expired. Senator for